Namaste, friends. This is Elle with Sacred Union Tarot. Today is Summer Solstice Day here in the Northern Hemisphere, June 21st, 2023. This reading is for kind of the next 6 months until the next solstice, the winter solstice. But, it's going to be a doozy. I'm just telling you, things are shifting fast. I don't know if you can feel it, but things are shifting. And so as I was picking up the deck, this just really spoke to me, this card, that owl, that moon, that wisdom. The card itself is resurrection. Now, we have been seeing so many death cards, transformation cards, cards of transformation, and tower cards. This is what's going to start to rebuild now. We have done the, and I don't want to say destruction, but it feels like whatever needed to be removed from your life is removed from your life. And if there's something that's still in your life, it's serving a purpose. And my philosophy is people come into your life, situations come into your life for two reasons: to support you or to teach you something. So if you don't feel supported by what's ever in your life, ask, what is it trying to teach me? Defying gravity. Rishi Mushrooms. I have never seen that card. This is from the Herbiary deck, so I am going to check it out. 1. $136. Rishi Mushroom is the Yoda of the plant world, helping you assimilate life's experiences and turn them into wisdom. The Taoists teach that the Rishi can grow where your power lies, which some might call your destiny. Rishi is not soft, clingy mushroom, but instead a strong, structured, gravity-defying shelf. She asks for no less from you. How can you defy anything keeping you from finding meaning, purpose, and health? Like all the best teachers, they're to teach you something. Rishi points to the path and lets you walk it, taking your lumps and bumps along the way. She doesn't want you to rely on her strength. She wants you to find your own. But if you're willing to do the work, Rishi will help you transform from the inside out. There's that transformational energy. And this is about learning what you need to learn in order to gain that soul wisdom. And, all the lessons along the way. That's the path to the wisdom. Now, I want to look at this. It's called the California Poppy is the plant. I think it's 16 for this resurrection. No, 76. Sometimes the day needs to disappear so you can sink into the lush blackness of night. Sometimes your eyes, whether open or shut, need the inky darkness of forgetting. Golden Poppy lives in both sun and shadow. She opens her petals in the daylight and closes them at night. Giving in easily, knowing resurrection will come with the dawn. It is okay to sleep without dreaming. Poppy soothes. To fall deep and far. Have no fear. Day will come and you will once again stretch and unfurl. So if you feel like there has been some kind of deconstructing of going on in your life right now, the removal of certain things, there's an intricacy about this. There's a delicacy about this. I think you feel vulnerable. but you are actually finding your strength through your vulnerability. Okay? Let's pull from the Sacred Traveler. The owl to me represents wisdom. And through this deconstruction process, or whatever is removed from your life. Now, sadly, that could be divorces, relationship breakups. It can even be death, through the death of a loved one or someone significant to you. But through that process, you are gaining wisdom. But you are finding your own strength, which is part of that wisdom. Wandering path. Enjoy the journey, as turbulent as it may seem right now. Especially if you were really attached to some of these things that have had to be removed from your life. Now, when I'm talking remove, this could be you're changing jobs. It could be that your lease is up on your house and you have to find a new place to live. It could be that relationships are ending. It could be that you've just realized that there are people in your life that aren't there to support you, and that you've learned what you needed to learn, such as dealing with a narcissist or codependency. And so now you're moving on to encounter people at a higher vibration that have more to teach you. So enjoy the part of the journey, even though it's turbulent. It has a purpose. It is part of your divine path. And you are defying the gravity, the spiritual gravity through your ascension. Does that make sense? Intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. It's your personal path. It's your spiritual journey. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what is needed. So maybe not rely so much on your logic right now, but maybe just follow your intuition. When you get that intuitive nudge, that little, I think I'm going to go this route to work, or I'm going to go look in this neighborhood for my new house. If you feel that intuitive nudge, there's a reason you're being guided. Listen. Ease. It is easy for me to receive. It is easy for me to receive. It is easy for me to receive. This is from the Divine Abundance Oracle. Be in receptive mode for your messages. You may be just absolutely and I hate to say it, there may have been some catastrophic changes, all for your highest and greatest good, but they're not easy to handle. Some of them hurt. I mean, they just hurt. But be at ease with the process, that it's important for your soul ascension and your spiritual defying of the gravity. These are really profound energies right here. See, we have this very sly fox who's kind of mapping out his course. He has a compass, and there is a wandering path. This path didn't make sense to you at the time. Whatever was happening didn't seem to make any kind of rational sense. It all just seemed to happen. It definitely has affected your heart. So there's been some loss. Three of Swords energy I'm feeling. But it was necessary for that to happen before the solstice. For some reason, it needed to happen before the solstice. So check out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday's readings, because those were some of the things that were indicating some transformation. It feels like, in order for these solstice energies to really benefit you, you needed to have this great clearing. This is the Muse Tarot, Queen of Inspiration. That's Queen of Wands energy, fire signs, Page of Voices. We saw that card yesterday. We saw both of these cards yesterday. Check out yesterday's reading. That was our twin flame reading. If you feel like you are a twin flame or twin flame energy, check out yesterday's reading, because it feels like people are watching, but I'm hearing wondering as well. They're almost not quite sure what to think of you and these changes. There's the Lovers. We saw that card yesterday too. Maybe your divine counterpart might be watching you, and I'm getting the energy of rising, and it's defying the spiritual gravity, but you're rising, you're transforming. There is a energy of, there's a resurrection. I have pecan trees in the front here, and we have something called the resurrection fern. And in the hot weather here in Florida, it dries out and it looks almost dead. I mean, it's wilted and crispy. But then the rains come, and then it's lush and green. I'll see if I can post a picture of it, because it's absolutely beautiful. And they call it the resurrection fern because with each rain, it resurrects. And this is almost your resurrection into this new life, this new energy from this sense of loss. There is some energy here of your counterpart or somebody keeping an eye on you. So watch what you post on social media. I'm just going to give that as an overall kind of caveat warning. Just watch what you post on social media. Use your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, don't post it. I don't know why that was important to say, but it was. There's a fly here. Surrender. Even though you feel vulnerable and unprotected, there is wisdom through this this wandering journey that you've been on. At this point, it just feels like you don't really know what the outcome's going to be. For whoever is connecting with this reading, there's a vulnerability because you don't understand what the outcome. How could anything good come of this kind of energy? But know that this is the path, and that the spiritual wisdom, that the people along your path up to this point have been there to teach you something. And what have you learned? Look at over the last 2 years. You can even go back and look at the readings, last 2 to 3 years. Look at the titles of the readings. We have been transformed. There was definitely some moments of anguish and confusion. But now it feels like we are now taking the first steps into our authentic path. It's like there was this shift saying, okay, no more games, no more time. This is time for you to be aligned with your destiny. So we can't cling to anything that's no longer serving you. Even though you were attached to it, the universe says, got to remove it. I'm sorry, we just got to remove it. It's kind of like they're showing me like a tooth extraction, if that resonates for anybody. It's almost like there was so much, that tooth was no longer serving. It was only causing pain. Although you felt it was necessary, there was some pain. Here's the Seven of Voices. There was something someone in your circle or something, some energy that I'm picking up on that was trying to convince you of something that was not meant for you. That was a deception. They were using that in like a form of control. I'm going to show you something in just a second. Let me pull. There's just a lot of symbolism here. There's a strength card. Yes, this is your spiritual strength. That goes there. Okay, so a couple of things here you're going to notice. Look at the owl eyes and look at the glasses here. It's almost like you're putting on your glasses and seeing things clearly. It's like your spiritual glasses. Now my nose is like itching. It just itches. It's like with the spiritual wisdom, you can now see things differently. Then we have, look at that around her. Oops, it's backwards. See that big sun in the background, and then we have on the strength card that big sun in the background. They're both looking in the same direction. Like they know. There's a knowing here. There's a knowing. And then we have these two. These are feminine figures. Look at the facial expressions. There's literally a fly just flying around me. It's almost like there's a message in the, you know how you can hear the fly buzzing? And it's almost like it's at a different frequency. It's almost like it's trying to tell me something. Sorry, my little shirt keeps sliding down. Here we have the fox again. But look at her right here. She's got the head of a fox. This wandering path. Somebody was trying to swindle you. There's a spiritual swindle going on. Sorry. That's what I'm hearing. There's a spiritual swindle going on. Somebody was trying to swindle you, but you were too clever. Because you've had so much experience with people with this malicious intent. That's what this is. The Seven of Swords is a swindler. Somebody who is intentionally trying to deceive you for their own personal gain. That energy has no value to you now. You've learned. It's almost like it was confirmation. I'm too wise to fall for that again. It's happened before. This is somebody who's been in your life before. They thought that they were more clever than you. But you outfoxed them this time. And so now, you now know with this wisdom, I don't need this anymore. I don't need them in my life anymore. Did I drop a card? Two of Voices. That was the block. This is there's a sense of obligation. This could be a family member. So you were kind of torn, like, how do you kind of let go of a family member? Like in a choice kind of way. Like, this, I just can't do this anymore. I can't be in this relationship anymore. This is very complicated. So since this solstice, it's like you're putting on your spiritual glasses. It's like you're seeing things through a spiritual lens now. Because you have the wisdom and the strength. Because you've been through so much. You are being resurrected into your spiritual self. Seven of Inspiration now. Seven of Wands. Yeah, 2 sevens. This feels like, look how she pulled that curtain back. This was a deceptive energy. Listen to that loud truck. That you had to stand up for yourself. This feels like this is an obligatory relationship that you're in. It could be a boss, it could be a family member, it could be someone you work with, maybe a partner that you've been with in a business, maybe somebody you work with, a charity, and it's like you can't fire them. They're volunteers, but they just have been trying to swindle you, and you finally said enough. It's almost I'm hearing you go or I go. You know, we're not doing this anymore. And you finally stood up for yourself because you realize you've learned the lesson. You don't feel good when you've been swindled. Yeah, 4 of emotions. You're not interested in being in this anymore. Emotionally, this has become null. Null. Not toxic, null. There's no energy to fuel that anymore. So that's something that's leaving your life. And when you step up to your with your spiritual strength and just like, this isn't for me anymore. Yeah, there's the 4 voices. Look at her. She's kind of like, after the event, she's soaking in this tub and going, I did it. I did it. I finally ended something that didn't feel right for me. See, that's almost that resurrection energy. Look at the peaceful look, the satisfied look on her face. She's just like, I did it. I learned my lesson. And now that situation, that person, that whatever is no longer needed, and I can release it. Okay, that feels like, yeah, we have 2 7s and 2 4s. That's 11 and 11. Could be your twin flame energy. You could say, you know what? I think we talked about that yesterday in Twin Flame Tuesday. Not every 3D relationship with twin flames is destined to come into fruition as a relationship. Sometimes you just deal with the energy. 9 of emotions. 8 of materials. 9 of inspiration. We have a lot of repeating numbers here. The work has been worth it for you. All of the shit that you've been through, you now are seeing it as it was worth it. It was worth it. I am not the same version of myself that I used to be. And I feel so happy about that. You are, and look how light you are, releasing that kind of baggage, releasing that situation with your spiritual wisdom now has given you this sense of strength and satisfaction. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Materials. Let the abundance flow. Yeah. Okay, I want to pull some from the Somnia Tarot. This reads masculine energy for me. I want to find out what's going on in your masculine energy or for your masculine, however it resonates for you. Eight of Cups. Yep, there's that spiritual wisdom and strength. 10 of Swords. Queen of Swords. Yep. This okay. For some of you, this could mean that your divine counterpart was being intentionally deceptive as a method of control. Okay, so here would be kind of a scenario, and this doesn't apply to everybody, but it's just what's coming through. Your divine counterpart is in a long-term commitment, and they're like, oh, I'll tell her about you, or I'll tell them about you, and I'm gonna leave. And they've been stringing you along and stringing you along and stringing you along, making false promises in order to be deceptive, thinking that you're gonna just kind of continue to take the bait. And then you finally said, I'm not doing this anymore. You know what? I deserve better. That's just one scenario. And you finally just said, I'm pulling the curtain back. Bullshit. I'm calling you out on your bullshit. You're not going to do this. You've been saying this for a long time. I'm over it. I'm going to go on with my life. I'm going to start making decisions for me. That's what's really strongly coming through. She's like, because you are more important. And you're so proud of yourself for finally standing up to the deception. And you basically like, look, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go on with my life. And you put on your spiritual glasses. You're so happy because you've done so much work on yourself. A while ago, a couple of years ago, you'd have never thought that you would be able to do this. To finally say enough. 3 of Cups. I'm hearing pour your heart out. 6 of Coins. They were not giving in a balanced way. It was not equal give and take. You were just getting crumbs. You were just getting crumbs from this person. Now, that's just one scenario. There's a multitude of scenarios that this could apply to. Take it how it resonates for you. But you finally were able to see through the deception, through the control mechanism, and said, no thank you. The Empress. So you're so proud of yourself because it has dawned on you how much you have learned, how much wisdom you have accumulated, how much strength you have earned through all of these very turbulent and tumultuous lessons. And now it's like everything is anew. This is new. This is a new energy. It's like you have a new lease on life kind of thing. Okay? Let's pull from the Sacred Self-Care. I know this is getting a little longer than I expected, but there's just this sense of satisfaction with this 4 of Swords and this 9 of Cups. There's this sense of self-satisfaction that you finally learned enough and had enough to say, I'm worth more. I'm going to start doing what's right for me. So how can we care for our mind, body, and spirit during this next 6 months? Just sing, baby. Just sing. If you're driving in your car, you're cleaning your house, just sing. That's going to raise your vibration, but you will also hear songs with messages. Do a burning bowl ritual. So whatever the situation is, write it all out. Tell the whole story. Tell the whole story. How you feel about it. How you felt so disempowered until you learned. And then burn it in the burning bowl. With gratitude. Make an altar. Have a place to have your soul time. This is a soul sanctuary space for me where I just I can just sit and allow my intuition to come through, to allow myself to have that clarity, to have this ease of receiving. Just being open, because now it's validated. It's validated everything you've been through. And those who lost faith and like, you know what? I don't feel like anybody is conspiring on my behalf in the universe or my ancestors. Sometimes you felt very, very alone. And you just felt like maybe you were making all of this up, and maybe there wasn't a spiritual significance, and maybe there was no higher, grander purpose. And you almost lost faith. But now with this new spiritual wisdom, you're like, everything happened for a reason. And it was to teach me this lesson. And now that I have this lesson, I am resurrected. My belief system is resurrected. My commitment to my spiritual growth is resurrected. The transformation was a terrible, turbulent time. And it made you question your faith in yourself, in your mission, in your divine, in your connection. And then all of a sudden, you're like, where did that come from? Where did I find that strength? You earned it. How did I see through that? Wisdom. How did I manage to make it this far? Your intuition. Now it's time to receive. Write a gratitude list. All the things that are in your life that are there after the solstice, right now, make a list and give thanks. Because these are the things that are going to support you now. It feels like the teachable, we're all going to still learn, but it feels like the teaching part of this is not as important now as the support part. Like from now on, who comes into your life will be supportive. And whatever happens is supporting your mission, supporting your growth, supporting your dream, whatever it was that you thought you wanted to do, but you've always not felt like you had the strength or the resources to do it. Everything lines up now. So receive. Don't push it away. Don't talk yourself out of it. Receive it. And soak in a bath, just like she is soaking in this bath. This is the cleansing, allowing that to now wash away. Create art if that's how you're inclined. Okay, that is the solstice reading. It was a bit bumpy. There's just so many scenarios that this is going to apply to. So if it resonates for you, thank you. Yeah. You've learned to be the Empress. And now it's time to receive.